There we go, recording again. So this is my cutting mat, very worn out, but this is my label. So I purchased labels from a lady on Etsy. I'll show you that in a minute. And then I just used scraps from the project I'm working on, and this one I happened to find it here, find my finger. This is the label, and then this is one scrap, another scrap, and a third scrap. And so I just sew them all one on top of the other, sew them together, and then it's ready to go on my garment when I'm ready for it. And I kind of, you know, I can sew them in the back of the neck, but I tend to put them in a visible location and just use it as part of the embellishing on the outfits. So I'll just do a sweep of the room here and explain things. Like I said, I sew in my bedroom. This is a dress that I'm in the process of working on, and I'm just going to jump in where I am with it because I have a lot of work left to do on it. That started out as a woman's blouse. I think it's a docker's blouse. And I used a pair of chambray women's pants. That's what the white embroidery is on those pieces. It's the front of the pants. And 3 men's shirts. So I just trimmed off the tails off the blouse. And then I took, because I wanted it to be like a duster or an open vest that they can wear, or they can wear it as a dress. So I wanted the buttons on the men's shirts and the women's to match up. But because men's shirts, the buttons are on the opposite side, I had to turn the fabric inside out. So, but it works because it's a really nice quality cotton, so you can't tell the right side from the wrong side. And then I'll just turn it around and show you the back, and I'm sorry for that moving around here. There's the back of the shirt where the skirt's sewn on, and the other shirt pockets are in the back. I removed the buttons and I haven't decided if I'm gonna put them back on again or not. Let's see if I can focus this a little better. And then I used, it was actually 2 ladies' shirts that kind of matched. They're a little bit different in color, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. And I made a 4-inch ruffle and stitched that around the bottom all the way around. And like I said, I have a lot of work left to do on this dress, so I'll show you my process. And there's the ruffle on the bottom. So it's just hanging on my bedroom door. This is my sewing table. One of my sergers there, I have vintage machines, so that's one of my 3-thread sergers, and a pile of scraps on the back, my cutting mat and my rotary cutter. If you have a cutting mat and rotary cutter, great. It just speeds things up and makes things so much easier. But if you don't have one, you can do it with scissors. There's no reason you can't. Here's one of my machines. Sorry, that's pretty bright there. Maybe that's better. So this is one of my faffs. I have 3 faffs. This machine is probably 30 years old at least. I have another one that's even older. And then I have one that's it's a faff, I think it's a 75 something, I can't remember. It's a newer one. Somewhere around here I have the book for it. 3530. That's just the book for it. The machine is sitting under the table. So that's my newest machine that I have, but I think it is also, I bought it used. I think the machine is probably 15 years old at least. But I tend to favor my older ones, so I use them more. Underneath the table here, I have 2 more sergers. It's kind of dark now. Sorry, I'm new at this, and there we go. I have 2 more 3-thread sergers. They're exactly the same serger as what's on the table. I just keep them set up with different color thread, and I keep one set up as a rolled hem. I don't have to adjust it, then I just need to change my thread. The sewing machine under there that you see, that's a Brother machine, just a cheap one. And I bought that machine specifically for my ruffler. attachment, and I leave it set up all the time with the ruffler on it because I do a lot of ruffles. So when I want to do a ruffle, gather it, I just lift it up and put it on the table and use it, and then put it back under there again. So I have another table here. I have my rotary cutters, my rulers there. I don't do a lot of ironing, so I just have, it's an old sheet folded up on the table, and I have that travel iron if I need to give something a quick press. Just my bobbins and attachments for my serger and my clips and a little thing of buttons that I remove off my garments. I save everything. I try and use everything. Here's some labels that I've removed that I'm planning to use on the dress I'm working on. I have another little container here. It's right full of labels that I've removed off of garments. And these are all buttons that I've removed off of different garments. These are my tags. This is really hard getting things right. I order my tags from this lady on Etsy called Tags, and you can just search her on Etsy if you want, and there's 50 tags in there. So I can do quite a few garments before I need to reorder. Just a little plug for her. There's a couple patterns there. I don't use patterns hardly ever, but I have some patterns that I thought I'd like to make a denim jacket out of this style here. I really like that, and then I thought this would make a great denim jacket as well. And the other one's just it's a jacket as well. I haven't made any of them up, but I also have an embroidery machine. So this is the hoop for my embroidery machine, and I'll bring these over to the cutting mat. These are a few embroideries that I've done up. I like to have some on hand. I'll show you a dress that I've done some embroidery on. And these are just some t-shirts that I've cut the bottoms off them to use them in other dresses. And these are the tops that I'm going to do something with. So I'll show you the embroidery that I've got on the go here. And these are just, I embroider on like denim weight. So these were a pair of shorts that somebody had given me. So that says Pucker Up Buttercup. I have a Marilyn Monroe embroidery that I'm going to use, and I might use the Pucker Up with her. I'll find her. There's Marilyn. It's a beautiful embroidery. There's a spring on it. So I'm thinking I might use that with Pucker Up Buttercup, and I might use the shoes. And there's a button embroidered on there as well. It's quite big. You can see beside my hand, the button is quite big. This one just says love, and I've used that on another dress in a different color. It's a little Laurel Birch bird. If you're familiar with Laurel Birch, she has a lot of different designs. She's probably best known for her cats, and I have all of her embroidery designs, and that's her signature there that it embroiders out with the design. So I can do a lot of really nice embroidery with Laurel Birch on it. There's a Betty Boop with a motorbike. I love this design. So I'm going to do something with Betty Boop. I have a couple of Minnie Mouse, I'm sorry, done. So these are just done up because I have no purpose in mind for them yet. And that's just a lady's head with long hair. As you can see, I haven't trimmed my jump threads yet, but she's quite big. I put my hand beside there. She's quite big. I only have a 5x7 hoop, so that's the biggest design I can do. This is a cheetah with glasses. I'll show you a dress I did. I have a zebra with glasses as well. And this is just the word believe, and then a pin cushion. I haven't trimmed my threads on there yet either. So those are all the embroideries that I have sitting waiting for something. I apologize for my mess. I am so crowded in here. I stay with my friend, and I just have a bedroom, so I have my bed in here and my sewing in here. This is a big pile of denim that somebody gave me, and I just washed it last night. I have more on my bed yet. Those suitcases under there are full of fabric and quilting. That blue little, it's not really a box, it's just a cloth thing. It's full of the stabilizer that I use for my embroidery machine when I'm doing an embroidery. And the one beside it with the tape measures, that is interfacing and some felt. There's a sewing machine in that brown sewing machine case back there. Another faff. I have a beautiful big window right here, so I get really nice light, and that's the people across the backyard. That's a skirt that I ran out of denim. I have a dress, I'll show you what it looks like, but I ran out of denim, so. And those, I'm a flight attendant, so those are my crew bags under there. Right there, you see the word crew on it. This is my serger thread and my sewing machine thread in those bags. I just recently got myself this Juki, and I absolutely love it. It's a 4-thread, and it's just a workhorse. I just love it. So I don't use my 3 threads very much anymore now that I've got this. And this is my embroidery machine here. It's a Brother PE 770. It's not turned on right now, but it's a single needle embroidery thread. And I'll put links to these machines in the box below once I get this edited, if anyone's interested. I download designs off the internet. You purchase them and download them, and then I edit them on my computer, and then, let me find myself here, and then I load them onto USB sticks. And then I can just stick this into the sewing machine. And I'll show you guys this working one day, so I can stick it into the USB port here and stitch my embroidery designs. So those are all my scissors, and these are my bobbins, more scissors and tape. And then I'll show you my bed. It's messy, I have stuff all over it right now. It's my staging area when I'm working on something. There's more denim that I washed last night that some of it's pretty rough shape, but I'll make use of it in some way. And I made that quilt that's on the bed as well. So you can see a pile of pockets there. I save all my pockets and sew them on other garments. Those are collars. Sometimes I'll take them apart and use them. These are the front plackets from men's shirts. If I'm going to cut up a shirt to do ruffles, I always save the front placket because I'll use them on a dress down the front. Those are some leftover sleeves, and these are some yokes. And I'm going to show you, when I do my next garment, I'll show you how I deconstruct a men's shirt to use it. These are more yokes, and I'm going to be making a pocket for that dress that I'm working on right now. And these are going to be, it's going to be patchwork pockets, so I'll use these fabrics. I'll show you my messy closet. It's most of the clothes in there are thrifted clothes. All the shirts are thrifted, women's and men's shirts. There's a dress hanging there that I'm working on. This is made from 8 women's t-shirts. And I put a little patchwork pocket on always. This one's on my Facebook page and my Etsy shop. And there's the patch that I made for it. I put it right on the pocket. And a little flower that I made with some fraggles. I call them fraggles. They're little, just kind of scraps. And some I serge and some I don't. And they look kind of nice. So that's one dress. And the skirt is really full because, as I said, it's made with 8 t-shirts. So I'm going to pause this, prop it up, and turn the lens around and stand back so you can maybe see the dress I'm wearing. It's also made from 8 t-shirts, so be right back.